What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you back to the second episode of Oh No Sports. Oh No Sports is your best place for the recent NFL news and the latest NFL news, all about betting tips, fantasy predictions, fantasy sleepers. We've got it all here at Oh No Sports. And even, what we'll find out later, the new fuzzy hat for the featured sport of the week. So, let's jump right back into it. It's a great week in the NFL. Obviously, we're looking at the first topic. C.J. Stroud, rookie phenom. 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. This kid's phenomenal. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not, but Dan Orlovsky, one of the NFL insiders, said that he is in the MVP conversation. I think that's jumping the gun a little bit. Rookie of the year, heck yeah. This guy's special. There's no two ways about it. Honestly, I was not a fan of his coming out of college. I liked how he competed no matter what with that broken rib against against Georgia for Ohio State, but I wasn't a huge fan of his out of college. He has 100% proved me and all the doubters, Stephen A. being one of them, wrong. And I think, going back to the topic, I think Dan Orlovsky is crazy to say he's in the MVP conversation. But that 470-yard, 5-touchdown performance, that's like me in Madden Ultimate Team when I'm playing with my buddies. That was pretty special, and it was fun to watch. I like him coming back this week and being a routine QB1 fantasy starter. I have him on one of my teams. I don't know about a fringe top 10 option, but I like him in the 10 to 12 range for sure in fantasy football for all you players out there. Second, Sam Howell. Shout out to my buddy Owen Welty, Commanders fan, diehard. He's the one who told me we should kind of talk about him this week. He's having an underrated year. Yeah, he's got 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Yeah, the Commanders aren't the best team, but what does he have to work with? Not a ton. What you probably didn't know is he is second in the NFL in passing yards. Second. Yep. That's with Tua. That's with Patrick Mahomes. He's in the likes of those guys for in the NFL passing yards. He had a week 2 weeks ago you probably didn't know about. He had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. This guy's special. He's 23 years old. Yes, he has 9 interceptions on the year. It's not great, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit about Josh Allen, how I'm going to knock him for that. So I'm not sitting here saying he's amazing and he's a top-tier quarterback, but keep an eye out for him. He's only 23 years old. He's got a really, really bright future. I was not super high on him coming out of college, but he's proved me wrong, he's proved doubters wrong, and I'm sure he's proved Commanders fans wrong as well. So, third topic we're touching on, Thursday Night Football. My Bears, we're in the toilet bowl. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie about it. We're in the toilet bowl. The Chicago Bears, one win, play the Carolina Panthers, also one win. It's not a great game. And I'm excited to watch as a Bears fan, but I don't blame the normal NFL fan for not being excited to watch. It's not a great Thursday night slate. I think, in my opinion, the NFL thought at the beginning of the year, okay, perfect. We got the Chicago Bears with Justin Fields, an exciting young team, against the number 1 overall quarterback. This is great. This is great publicity. We're the NFL. Everyone's going to watch. Backfire a little bit, but hey, I'm still watching. I'm excited, but I have seen a lot of stuff trending about it being called the toilet bowl. I don't blame him, but I'm not going to say it doesn't hurt, because it does a little bit as a Bears fan. Last thing that we're going to talk about for main topics, Josh Allen. Is he overrated? He gets talked about in the likes of Joe Burrow, Tua, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Is he in that conversation? I don't know. He can be extremely special at times. We all know that. He's a 6'5", 250-pound Wyoming product. He's electric in some games, and he showcased that a lot in his career. But what I don't like is how overconfident he is in his abilities, and what happens with that, he's got 9 interceptions, as I said, and along with that, 3 fumbles. The Bills are 5-4. I talked about earlier with Sam Howell, how he doesn't have a ton to work with, especially after this last trade deadline, as we talked about last week on the first episode. But back to Josh Allen. He's got a lot to work with. James Cook's a good young running back. Diggs is arguably the best route runner in the entire NFL. Dalton Kincaid is a steal of a tight end in the last year's draft. I'd love to talk about him later. We probably will touch on him in the next episode or maybe a little bit later in this one. His 10 catch performance, you kidding me? Anyways, Josh Allen's got 9 picks and 3 fumbles in 9 games. So that's a bit over a turnover a game. That's for a guy who's considered elite and in the conversation of Mahomes. Mahomes, yes, he has a lot of picks this year, but Allen has not produced, in my opinion, well enough. Well, clearly they're 5-4 with a pretty special defense as well. I know they have injuries, and I understand that. But I just don't know if Josh Allen's in that elite conversation, and I think he is a tad bit overrated because he does get talked about as a top 3, maybe top 4 QB. I think he's great, but I think he's in the 6 or 7 or 8 range in our league in the NFL. So, we're going to talk about last week. As I said, I mentioned the trade deadline, but we're going to talk about the betting tips from last week. My guy, Will Levis, he showed out for us especially, and he slammed that over 203.5 passing yards. He had about 275. He played great. No touchdowns, but he played well. He was moving the rock. Secondly, Jamar, for those of you that watched the Sunday night game against the Bills, he dropped a big pass, 45 yards. That would have really helped our total yards, and he might have scored on it. I couldn't tell if he would have outstretched the ball, maybe. But that really affected us because he actually fell pretty hard on his back. Messed up his lower back for the rest of the game. He was getting heating pads. He was getting treatment on the sidelines. So unfortunately, our fun parlay didn't end up hitting. But the bonus play I gave, the -2 Bengals on Sunday night, hit with authority. That was a pretty good bet. So I was a big fan of that one. Bummer about Jamar. Then the whale play of the week. Unfortunately, we're starting off on the wrong foot. 0-1 with the Dolphins over in Germany. I said Tyreek Hill revenge game. I mean, I got to chirp myself on this one. Like, Tyreek, dude. 3 drops. I mean, you're making Ono Sports look like a dummy here. He had 3 drops. He had a fumble that wound up, he got stripped. He wound up costing him 7 points. I mean, yes, it was a great play to strip him, but go down, dude. I know you run a 4.240, but you got to go down there. So that was a bummer. We went 1-3. If you count the bonus play, a little cheating, but we went 2-4. I'm going to say we went 1-3 to be hard on ourselves and expect better this week. So now rolling into this week. As I said, we got the toilet bowl on Thursday night, so we got 2 plays for tonight's game. The whale play of the week, the white whale, purple whale this week. Deonta Foreman, anytime touchdown. Khalil Herbert's coming back to health. He's about to get released off of IR, but he's not healthy for tonight. Deonta Foreman, another revenge game. We're hoping this one goes better than Tyreek's. Against his old Carolina team, I love him. Anytime touchdown, +110. If you want to get crazy, his 2 touchdowns is +550. I don't mind sprinkling on that as well. Second, we're going to go over reliable D2 product. Adam Thielen over 6.5 catches. Jaquan Brisker's banged up. Eddie Jackson's banged up. It's unfortunately a Bears secondary that struggles already, but I'm a big fan of this. Thielen gets open. He's Bryce Young's crutch. He's going to throw to him when he needs him. He's going to throw to him when he doesn't need him. If they're down by a lot, if they're up by a lot, Adam Thielen's getting the ball. It's that simple. I love him over 6.5 catches. He's had multiple games this year with over 7, 8, 9 catches. Last play. This is a weird one because you look at 36 as a total and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, and like, come on, that's not a good play. But the Jets and the Raiders, 2 of the worst offenses in the entire league. Zach Wilson put up 3 points last week, 3 in 4 quarters. And this Jets defense is special. The Williams brothers, Quinn and Quentin, are unbelievable. Sauce is amazing. The Raiders struggling as well, especially with coaching, and Jimmy G, he's not playing great. I love this under 36.5. I see this as a 17-10 game, maybe a 14-17 game. Either way, I love the under. All right, now, obviously, we know we all love fantasy football. We love the sleeper of the week. Last week was Brandon Aubrey. This week, CS is the initials. He averages 10.5 points. He is owned in 37% of leagues. I want to see you guys comment right now who you think it could be. Initials CS. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video. We're trying to get as big as possible. We're obviously just starting out, but hey, we're growing as the weeks go on. So, we're obviously going to fill this one out. I want to see the comments. I'm excited to read them. We got CS. Those of you that can't read that, that is Curtis Samuel. So, as I said, he's only 37% of leagues. That means he's available in 62. This guy is one of the more underrated receivers in the league, and I think it is all because of Sam Howell throwing for second most yards in the league, as we touched on earlier. But either way, there's a lot of good teams on bye this week and a lot of good receivers on bye. I know injuries are happening. Guys are in and out of my lineup. Guys are in and out of everyone's lineup. I love, especially Dolphins are on bye. I got Tyreek, and I know Waddle's a big guy to play in every league. So I love Curtis Samuel. He's available in 62% of leagues. Listen to this stat. So he's played in 8 games this season. He's missed 1 last week with a toe injury. He has had 4 or more catches in 6 of 8 games. I saw that stat today and I was shocked because I could not believe. So think about it. If you're in a PPR league, he's got 4 catches. You're thinking minimum, though, it's going for 25, 30 yards because he's a speedster. That's 7 to 10, maybe he catches a TD, 15, 20 points every week. He averages 10.5. That is a terrific fill-in flex, maybe wide receiver 2 if you're in a 12-man league. So I love that, and I'm a big fan of this. Also, Brandon Aubrey, 7 points last week. Not the greatest showing, but I've still got faith in him. He hasn't missed a field goal yet. Just going to put it out there. All right, now, for everyone's favorite part, featured sport of the week. New addition is the fuzzy black hat. We got 5 different sports in here that could be. Here we are. This is the sport for this week. It is the NHL. So for those hockey fans, get psyched. So, obviously, hockey, it's just started. We're about 10 games into the season. One thing that I wanted to touch on as a Blackhawks fan is Bedard. So, for those of you that don't know, Connor Bedard, if I were to compare it to the NFL, is hyped up like Caleb Williams is hyped up. He's getting talked about as one of the next best players, the next guy up. And he has lived up to the hype. He's home opener in the United Center, the Blackhawks Stadium. He scored literally 5 minutes in. This guy is special. He's got, I think, 6 or 7 points already. He's really adapting quickly. The coaching staff loves him. The players love him. 98 is special in Chicago. He's not going to win us any playoff games. He probably won't even get us to the playoffs. But he is a huge building block for our franchise. Secondly, I want to talk about the Hughes family. So for those of you guys that are hockey fans, I'm sure you're chuckling because you're like, oh, of course. Jack Hughes is 23 years old, and he is leading the NHL in points. You want to hear this stat? He had 14 points through 5 games in the NHL season. That's about 3 points a game. He is unbelievable. Then, his brother, Quinn, defenseman on the Canucks, also leading the league in defenseman scoring. Then, he's got a third brother. Yeah, you forgot about that? Luke Hughes on the Devils. He is leading all rookie defensemen in scoring. So, Hughes family, shout him out because that family is freaking awesome. And not to mention, imagine having a 1 overall pick, a 3 overall pick, and a 4 overall pick in the family. 3 top 5 picks. Pretty cool. Last thing I want to talk about is the grade 8. I love Ovechkin. I always have. I've grown up watching him for the Caps for years. I think he's got a legit shot at breaking Wayno's record of 792 all-time goals. I think because of his longevity in the way that he plays, I mean, let's be honest, he's probably got the best one-timer of all time. And I think the way that he plays and the way that he celebrates, I mean, the guy loves the game. He treats his 500th goal like it's his first goal. He treats his 611th goal like it's his second goal. This guy is awesome. It's hard not to love Ovi. And those are my little tidbits for the sport of the week. We'll jump into another sport next week. But, so, I want to run through the episode one more time just to give you guys a full rundown, just to make sure you're not missing anything. for the tips of the week, betting tips of the week, we got Deonta Foreman going tonight. That's our whale play, plus 110, anytime touchdown. If you want to get crazy, 2 TDs, plus 550. Second, Adam Thielen, all reliable. 6.5 catches, minus 125, over. Last but not least, Jets versus Raiders. Kind of a toilet bowl. They got good records though. Special defense. We're going under 36.5. Fantasy football. Sleeper of the week. Commanders wide receiver Curtis Samuel averages 10.5 points. He's a must-have if you need a replacement receiver. Then we're going through CJ Stroud, the kid's special. I'm thinking favorite for rookie of the year, obviously, but he is no MVP. There's a lot more special talents in the NFL right now than CJ Stroud for the MVP conversation. Sam Howell is 23 years old. If you haven't checked out his stats, go ahead and do it. I listed a few of them, but I want you to dive into it. Comment. I want to hear what you guys think about CJ Stroud. Is he the MVP? Is Sam Howell special? And is he the future of the Commanders? I want to hear it because I'm happy to debate with you. Thursday Night Football, toilet bowl. For my Bears fans out there, for my Carolina Panthers fans out there, do you think it's a toilet bowl? Who do you think is going to win tonight? The spread is -3. Bears at home at Soldier Field? I don't know. I'm not sure. So I want to hear what you guys think. Lastly, one of the biggest topics, is Josh Allen overrated? I'd say yes, just a little bit. So I want to hear. Comment below, like, subscribe for more content like this. But I want to hear what you have to say about Josh Allen. Is he overrated? I don't know. Is he underrated? I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you for listening. We're looking forward to next week. We got a good slate of games this week. Enjoy watching. This is Oh No Sports, your best place for NFL news. Thanks for listening.